Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here on our creative checkup today. God and Gigs family. That's what you are. That's why you're here. And if you're new to our family, thank you so much. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Alan C. Paul. I'm a musician, artist, creative coach, and speaker. And we are here at God and Gigs to help you to transform your creative life from the inside out by applying timeless spiritual principles to temporary creative problems. And that's what we do here. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, every time that we can, we go live to solve one specific issue that's affecting your creative life, your heart, your art, however that fits in your life. We're here to help you solve that one issue. And we do so in a creative checkup, which is kind of like a diagnosis. We do a little check down of all the things that are affecting you. So thank you so much for joining us. We already got some people in the building. I always make sure to see at least one comment before we start, just to make sure that this is working and that all the audio is working, because I don't want to say we're talking to myself. So if you see me pausing, I see Snowden. What's up, Chris Snowden? Over here on Instagram. We're going live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Jordan Max as well. Byron, Rich Base over here. So again, I only do this pause just to make sure that I am not like talking to myself. So that's why I wait for that first comment. Anyone that says hello, anyone that gives me a thumbs up, the reaction, like, or anything like that helps me know that we are going live correctly. Okay. While I'm talking about that, speaking of liking, please go ahead and like this video if you're watching on YouTube or even on Facebook. That helps the algorithm know that we're not just here spamming you. Okay. We actually provide value. You're here watching this for real. You're not just watching it because it came on. You're actually engaged. And so when you comment and you post, it helps us. And it really does. Excuse me, grab a drink of water because all of a sudden my voice started going away. Let's see. LaShonda is joining us on Instagram. Look at that. Wow. LaShonda, our amazing ECE, established creative expert, and one of our most amazing mentors, my YouTube coach, and part of the Bootstrap Club. I am, and she's the leader of the Bootstrap Biz Advice Club. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, but I'm going to hope that everything's working because I didn't see any comments right away. But that usually means either you guys are just chilling, you're quiet, but I'm going to hope that I'm not just talking to myself. Now, today we're going to be talking about, let me get right into our slides, and let you know what we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to walk down our news and notes, which is usually just what we talk about. And wow. Y'all, I have to stop for a second because the cat got inside the room, and now the cat wants to get out of the room. This is a first. This is why we don't let our cats. Oh, Thank you for interrupting. Anyway, wow. I'm not a cat person, you guys. And this is literally what just happened. The cat decided to come in and then got stuck because the cat shouldn't have been here right now. So, anyway, where was I? So, we're going to go through news and notes, the member spotlight, some of the different events that are happening in October, including a very exciting event next week, the Podcasting Summit, the Podcasting Made Simple with Alex Sanfilippo. Next, we'll talk about our vital signs, which is what you probably saw on the title, setting the right goals to success. What is really going to make you successful in 2025? We got 12 weeks already. We're there, guys. Everyone knows it. Holidays are breathing down our neck. You're going to start seeing Christmas decorations before you even see Halloween decorations. And then it's going to be 2025. This year flew by. And of course, with all this devastation that's happening, life is just like lifing this year. So we're going to talk about how to really make sure that you're aiming for the right goals in 2025 and how to set yourself up for success. Lab work. We're going to talk about the power of personalization. This is a super important thing that I have seen help me in my musical career, something that we just did on Sunday proved this, the series that I put on. I'm also a music curator and an event curator, as well as a musician. So the event we put on has some tremendous success, and I think I know why. I'm going to share why. Consult, kind of an interesting consult. We put out a poll about whether we have a membership. Turns out a lot of you didn't. A lot of you didn't even know we had a membership. So we're going to talk a little bit about why that is, and maybe if you want to be a part of it. Finally, we'll get into our consistent creative challenge, DIY, the prescriptions, the things I advise you to do after this live stream is over. And that's how we'll walk through this. So hopefully we can just jump in. Hopefully everybody's together. Let me give a quick another glance because I got all these windows open. Let me take a glance at our Instagram folks. All right, we see y'all still joining us. So we're going to stay connected and we'll keep going. But remember, at any point, this is not kind of like the live stream where I make it super presentation like and where I can't stop. If you want to comment, share something that's on your mind, go ahead and comment anytime. I can throw those up on the screen because of StreamYard, which we do recommend for many of you who want to start live streaming. You can use StreamYard. Just go to guideandgaze.com/StreamYard and you can see how this software works the way I'm using it right now with all the pretty colors and our new purple background. We've gone full purple. So that is how we make this happen, along with our beautiful AI slides. I really love Beautiful for making these slides because it's effortless for me to make these slides. Okay, now our membership. I cannot fit the gold members in anymore. If you've been watching for a while, you've seen this side of the gold membership slowly squeezing out the 360 guest. Now, let me explain what this membership is so you guys know, because again, the console, we're going to talk about why you guys didn't even know this exists. So 360 Gold members are our creatives, entrepreneurs, and artists who have invested in themselves and are either have already built a platform or are building a platform and are getting live coaching at least twice a month, and they're engaging with each other and growing each other through what we call the ACTS: accountability, community, training, and support. Okay, they're doing that. And I want to welcome Ayana Webb because you see she's an ECE, an established creative expert. That means she's already got a platform. She is lending really her credibility to our platform because she's already got her own. And she has been hanging out in the 360 Gold and in the threads and in the chats. Y'all, it is the biggest compliment to me when people who have their own platforms, like LaShonda, like Ayana, like Linus, these people have their own buildings. They have their own place. They can hang out there and build their communities right there and never bother with mine. But they are choosing to hang out together with you. Here's the benefit that I'll talk about later that y'all don't really understand. You usually have to pay a lot of money to get a good connection with some of these folks. And that's because they earned it and they deserve it. But if you're a member of 360 Gold, you're getting the benefit of these people being in your world all at the same time. I don't think, you see all those ECEs? I don't think any of us have the bankroll to join all of their programs, but they're hanging out together in gold. So I'm just going to leave that there. 360 guests, we love you. You bought a membership or bought a one-time product and you're hanging out. Shout out to Mitchell, has been amazing over there. I saw some other names that have been hanging out with us and commenting, and you are also part of God and Gigs 360, but they do not necessarily get the live coaching that 360 Gold does. Okay, so that's the main difference. Guests are hanging out in the threads and the comments. 360 Gold, we're hanging out in video and actually interacting live. Okay, so that's what's happening in 360. Let's go over here, make sure I can get across. And by the way, I just mentioned our newest established creative expert, Ayana Webb. Like I said, she is now going to be hopefully doing a workshop with us in November. We pushed off our October one, which means we will have a workshop next week. I don't know who, whether it'll be me or somebody else, but we will have a workshop next week on Friday to replace that one. But Ayana has been joining us in 360. It's awesome to have her there. Little bit of a sign. And I actually wanted to do this. I want to see if this works, okay? Because this is the membership. I'm giving you a quick picture of it. And I want to talk about our member spotlight today because Pamela, I want to talk about Pamela today, who's our member spotlight. I don't know if she's in the building today hanging out with us, but normally whenever she can, she joins us live. But I really wanted to do this to actually show you the membership and pull up her picture. So let me see if I don't mess this up. Hopefully I do this right. And you guys are not like, okay, what the heck is he doing? Let's see here. Let's do share. And that's where I was. So you should see the same thing. Are you guys seeing this? But honestly, this is why I wanted to show you a little bit of the membership because number one has been blowing up. But number two, I really love this part of Meet the Members because you can see Pamela's here. But what's really cool about our Mighty Networks interface is this. This is absolutely my favorite thing. Just to scroll around and see who's in the membership and see these amazing creatives is honestly, sometimes I'll just come here and I'll just like do this. I'll just read about Tony, who's a devoted follower of Christ, a singer-songwriter, worship artist, leader, recording artist. Or Shalene, hasn't put her bio yet, but she's one of our newest members and she's also a great friend. Or come over here to LaShonda, who also needs to do her profile because she's amazing, but that's okay. I know you got a million things to do, so I'm not trying to push. So it's just amazing to see all these members, and these are just the top members. Or I could go down and you can see even more of them, but these are some of the people that are interacting the most, and this is what Mighty Networks helps us do. It helps us connect you guys with each other. So I just wanted to show you that. So hopefully that made sense, and you guys could see all that moving around, and it helped you see really what this is about, which is about community. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's see if I remove this and I go back to Beautiful AI. There we go. Cool. All right. So that's our member note to self. Yes, thank you. Please update your bio, LaShonda, only because of what you just saw there. And the other thing that, again, I love about this is you see what the platform does. You see why I hung in here with them because they do have some really cool stuff. And I love how this little thing where it talks about Pamela and it helps me see what me and Pamela have in common. That we both have coaching careers, that we both have foundation in creative fields. We also both passionate about writing and creativity. And we both have taken entrepreneurial plugs by launching our own businesses. So immediately it's like, this is what we have in common. So it helps us connect with each other. So yeah, I really love that about the membership. All right, let's quickly go to news and notes because I'm also 15 minutes in. All right. Next week on Thursday, the Podcasting Made Simple Live Summit. I've said this to many of you. I do not think there's a single creative who should not be on podcasts, either as a host, like I've done, because it's revolutionized my life. Let's just be honest. My life is different because I started a podcast. My life is not what it is today if I don't start a podcast. Yes, I wrote a book first, but when things really changed is when I started my podcast. It is literally where God shifted my life into a whole nother stratosphere. So I am very passionate about podcasting. I know not everybody will start a show because some of you just say, hey, I don't have time for that. I get it. But there's nobody in this platform that should not be a guest on other shows. It is, again, one of the quickest ways for you to, if you're having trouble with social media, no one's listening to you on social because you're trying to get to the algorithm, and then on all of these other things where it's like, whether it be, well, obviously email is really good. But what I'm pointing at is that podcasting allows you to use other people's audiences and you've got their attention for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You're the star of the show. There isn't this kind of quick change to something else. Literally for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, you're the only thing they're talking about. Your show, your art, your event, your song. You get all the attention for that episode, and you're sharing value. And it, as I'm going to talk about in this presentation, because I'm one of the speakers, I'm going to talk about how you build trust with those people once you get on that platform. So once you get on the podcast, you also got to have some stuff that will actually make them want to follow you and stay with you. So that's my presentation. Alex and Alicia, as you see flanking me, are the owners of Podmatch and Podcasting Made Simple. Alex is a rock star in the podcast world, but one of the most genuine people you will ever meet, probably the most genuine you will ever meet. And so I am so honored to be a part of that. Sign up at podmatch.com/event. Podmatch.com/event. All right. Last but not least, please check out the quiz. We've been saying this for a while. If you haven't taken your quiz yet, go take the quiz, because you can find out which of the 5 Christian creative personalities you are. This is have people a lot of fun with this. And all you got to do is go to godandgigs.com/quiz. Where's all my banners? Where is my banner? Okay, there's my banners. But of course, I don't have the quiz banner. Do you guys, those of you who have been following me for a while, have you noticed that I never have the banner that I need, like ever? Like every time I say, oh, where's the banner? It's not there, because I always forget to make the right banner. There it is. Okay. Let's just continue, because I was getting a little off there. All right. We got through our news and notes. Now let's talk about your definition of success in 2025. Take a quick glance over here. Good to see you down DLWN Music. Thank you for joining us. If you're hanging out on Instagram, you can also comment there. I will definitely try to reach down and make sure I see your comments as well, even though I can't put them on screen. So let's talk about our definition of success. Now, this picture that you're seeing relates to a lot, but what it relates to mostly is what just happened this last week. And I don't normally talk about my music career a lot here, but I'm a fellow creative. I'm a musician. The very reason I'm here is because of my musical skill and my musical career. It's what started everything else. So I can't really ever go far away from the musical side of what I do for a living as a creative. So some of you know that are living down here in South Florida that I, with my friend Lavi, we co-founded and created a 3-day musical event, 3 events, basically 3 concerts series called Sit, Sing, Swing. Yes, it's a tongue twister. Yes, a lot of people say it wrong. We've just kind of leaned into it. Don't ask us why we named it that. We've had fun with the name, and it has stuck. The reason why I really am so grateful and I see success in a different way now is because this picture represents the success that I've enjoyed in 2024. But it's so much deeper than just, hey, we had a successful concert. As you see over here, that's to my very left. I guess you're right, my left, or opposite. It's Vanessa, my beautiful, incredible daughter-in-law, and then my son, her husband, Marcus, and then me. Then my wife, Leah Paul. Then my daughter, Naomi Paul, who is married. Her husband could not come down, so she's there. And then my son, my oldest son, Christopher, over there, all the way on the other side. This, to me, represents success because obviously they're my family and I love them to death and I would do anything for them. But then also the fact that they were able to come down and help me put on this concert that my wife, even though with a God blessed us with healing, she's gone through a rough month and a half. She was able to assist and then have our 4 kids, we'll call it kind of my daughter-in-law, our 4 kids come down and help us with everything that we were doing with the show. And when I tell you it was the most effortless show I've ever done, because I had that support, it made everything so much easier. And it not only easier, I just felt this lightness, because it's like my family's here and everybody is connected. And the whole event was amazing and beautiful. And I just realized that I don't talk about the success enough that doesn't have anything to do with downloads. That doesn't have anything to do with how many people bought my book or how many people, entered the membership. If I'm not really careful in 2025, I will forget that success looks very different to me than to other people. I will forget that success does not look like a bank account overflowing with money. It's funny in my other podcast that I help with my church, where I'm a producer. We were having a conversation, and one of my friends, one of the people, the host of one of the other shows, I don't know how we got on the topic of overflow. I think some stuff was like spilling over or something, was making a mess. And I said, yeah, that's what overflow looks like. Overflow is messy. And that'll preach. That'll preach, won't it? Overflow is messy. Nothing overflows neatly. So I think some of us have misunderstood success because we think success is something that looks neat and tidy and fits in a box that we have established for it. So how many of you, I'd really be curious, I would love to see some comments. How many of you have had to redefine success because the way it has appeared to you in the last few months or weeks has not been the way that you expected it? You've been successful, but not the way you thought. You have seen some things that have gone right, but they have not happened the way that you planned it. So if that's you, put a yes in the comments, or I've been there, or I feel that. Anybody that has felt that, even in the comments, those of you who are watching on replay, let me know if that's you. Have you had to redefine success because you're seeing around, wait, this one didn't go the way I planned, but it's also better than I planned, or it's also led me down a whole different path. So here's why we're talking about this now in October of 2024. If you don't start to redefine success now, what you're going to find yourself doing is leading yourself down the wrong path in the end of the year, which will not lead you to success in the next year. You've got to start determining the parameters that you will fit success in now, so that you don't look for the wrong things. Because what I think a lot of us do is a lot of us wait for the new year and then try to create this definition of success. And then we write down our New Year's resolutions, and then we say, well, we're going to go for that. Here's the problem, and this is what I've been finding more and more. If you haven't established the correct habits in 2024, it doesn't matter what you write in 2025. If you have not already set yourself up with the right systems in place so that your creative life and your family life and your relationships all grow and flourish, if you don't have the underpinnings, classic Atomic Habits, right? Those of you who know, we recommend Atomic Habits. You can find that, by the way, at godofgigs.com. We have a library for recommended books. If you have not already set that up and said, this is why I want to be successful, here's my why, this is the most important thing to me. If you have not already done that before the year ends, and then you write down your New Year's resolutions in January, here's what's going to happen. You're going to spend January, February, and March trying to establish goals, or trying to establish the habits to create the goals. And trying to establish the goals while trying to establish the habits are just not going to work. So I think what I would love our community to do is to define success now, define the habits now, so that when we get to the end of the year, this isn't this kind of rush to, oh my gosh, new year, new me. Well, yes and no. You can't be new if you haven't already set up what's going to be new about you. If you haven't already established habits that will lead to a new you. So we're not going to wait till January to set this up in God and Gigs. We're trying to set this up now. And if this resonated with you, I would love for you to share in the comments. Even you guys over here on Instagram, I see you, Channel Strip. Ari, good to see you. Ari, awesome to see you. Hope Chris is doing good. Good to see you guys. We were just talking about you at a gig the other day. So it's great to see you over here on Instagram. But again, if this is you, I would love for you to comment. If you're just chilling out and just watching this on replay, fine. But also in the comments, if you need to redefine success, I would love for you to write down in both the comments and for yourself, what does success mean to you now? And how has it changed? Is it different? If it's different, just write down, yeah, it's different. And then maybe you need to say, how is it different? What has changed? What do you now believe success is? Is it your family? Is it having more time, as LaShonda likes to say, with the 20-hour work week? She has work less and live more. Are you working less and living more? Is that success? Is success finally getting forward and finishing that project that you keep putting off because you keep saying that I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, but I'm never going to write. I haven't written it yet. I haven't written a song yet. I haven't done a play. I haven't called the person. Like, success may not look like actually achieving the big goal. It might be just actually moving toward the goal. Success for you might be, okay, I'm not sitting on my heels anymore. I actually joined a membership like God and Gigs 360. That's success, because success is ongoing. We said this in our interview with John Mike. I think that's 233, episode 233. That success is taken from the word succession. It's literally the idea of coming after something else. So success can't be a static thing. It's what comes next. What comes next? What comes next? So if this is helping you and resonating with you, I'd love for you to share what your definition of success is now, if it's changed, and one thing that you think you might be tweaking. Success was this, now it's this. Because I know that changed for me for a lot of different reasons, both for my family and for me personally. So I hope that blessed you. I hope that you guys got a lot out of that. I absolutely did. And I'll check the comments later on, of course, if you're watching on replay, if you have any thoughts about that. But that's our vital signs. Now, let's talk about the power of personalization. If you're good, we're good. Let me know if we're good. If I'm not going too fast, let me go over here. I hope I didn't lose Instagram because I didn't mean to close it. I just can't keep these pages together. There's so many pages. There we are. All right. Instagram, you're still hanging with us. Good, because I can't close that page or else it'll disappear. So now let's talk about the power of personalization. I'm going to switch this up a little bit. There we go. So you can still see it, just not as big. How could do? I forgot how I do that. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's talk about the power of personalization. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, again, going back to what just happened in my event this Sunday, we had an after action meeting for this concert. So me, my wife, who's kind of like the operations coordinator, the manager that helped my other partner, like 4 of us sat down, right? And we just said, okay, what went well with this concert? How do we do? By the way, all of my creatives, everyone, musicians, I highly recommend this, which I don't think a lot of us do, is do the after action concert review. Even if whatever event you had, if it's a gig, whatever, sit down after the gig, sit down after the event, sit down after the live stream and say what went right and what went wrong. I think if we did that, a lot of us would do better in our performances because we would actually sit down and say, okay, let's reevaluate how we can make things better. I think a lot of bands, we don't actually do that. We just move on to the next show, but we don't sit down and have an after action review. So we sat down and had an after action review about our Sit Sing Swing, our finale. And we kept saying, okay, this was one of the most incredible events we've done. What did we do right? So one thing that came abundantly clear is that every single person that came in felt like they were seen and they were part of a special event. We didn't sell a lot of tickets. We sold just enough to fill the place, but we deliberately kept it kind of small. And I think, again, this is where a lot of us get a little bit confused. We think we got to get more people, but having more people that feel like they're in a crowd is not necessarily great. They need to feel a connection. Now, there's the rare Taylor Swifts and Beyoncés where everybody feels like they're a part of the tribe, even though there's millions of them. Most of us, though, it's better that our tribes are not necessarily small, but super connected. And this usually means that you really personalize your touch points with them as an artist, as a creative, as an entrepreneur. So I want to tell you 2 ways that I think we did that. One is through our email and our touch points once they bought a ticket. So once they bought a ticket, we sent them a welcome sequence of emails, which I have set up, which I am considering. I'll tell you now because it popped into my head. I'm considering sharing this with anybody who wants to know, how do I get people who buy a ticket to my concert to actually be excited about the concert? Well, there's a little secret. they're not going to be as excited if you don't remind them that it's coming and remind them what they are a part of. So we have a welcome sequence. Actually, I almost feel like I should show it to you guys. I've never really done this, but I feel like because broadcast is open right now, right on Kit, so I could actually show you this. I don't see any comments right now, so part of me says don't do it because they're not really commenting. But you know what? Somebody else is watching later that this will help. So give me a second while let's see if we can do the share thing again. Give me a moment. Let me open this up and go to where it's already sharing. And let's see if I can go ahead and share now. This should help. All right. So what you're going to see is my Kit, my back end of my emails. Okay. So hopefully we won't get, let's make sure we don't get any. Yeah, nobody's emails is showing good. So this is what we set up for our membership. For those that bought tickets, we don't just consider them just people who buy tickets. We're trying to put them into to really feel like they're part of something. So I go to my Kit and my automations. By the way, do you guys like the new look of Kit? This is ConvertKit and their new branding. I love this clean look. This is so pretty to me. I just, some people are like, oh, I like it the old way. Like, look, I'm enjoying this because I just feel like I'm in a very clean, like spaceship kind of like, hey, everything's like right there for you. So let me get to this here we go. This SSS ticket purchase sequence. So each time that someone buys a ticket for my event, I take them through this sequence. And so what happens is they get tagged here. Then I take them down and let's see, I don't even know what this step is. So yes, if they have bought a ticket before, this was a little bit, okay, I think I updated this. So if they had bought a ticket before, then they would go to one way. Lost it. Let's get back. Because I clicked on the wrong thing. Here we go, guys. Sorry about that. So this automation is, by the way, available, I think, on even their free plan. So then they come down here and you can see that some of them were about a third, were repeat customers, but then the rest of these were new. So because they were new, they got this sequence. And in this sequence, if I can open it, let's see if it lets me open it. It's not letting me open it. Let's close this again. There we are. We didn't want to show email. Sorry about that. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to get you guys confused with all the different things. So let's go to sequences and let's just find the actual sequence so you can see what they get to see. As you can see, all of my sequences here, I have a lot of them. If you guys want more information on how to use Kit, I would love to do a webinar with you guys. If you're interested, there it is. So every time they get a ticket, they are introduced to our entire community. They get one email after another, which then builds their understanding of what they're a part of. It's not just a single email. You got your ticket and that's it. Let's see if I can find one more example because that one was an old one. So build up new, there it is, the nurture sequence. So this is what I'm considering. If you are interested in something like this as a musician or anybody that you have a sign up and people sign up for something, and then you're like, I wish they would stay connected. I wish they wouldn't just show up to the event and then leave. Well, maybe it's because you don't have a welcome sequence to get them engaged. So you see, first we say, thank you again for joining us. And we put them in our exclusive Facebook group. Then after one day, we will say that we're listening and we give them suggestions or we ask for their suggestions on songs. After that, we go in and we say, hey, you've never been to a show before, but let's keep you up on all the different shows that you've missed. Okay. So I think it's the next email. Yeah. This is the one where we tell you about kind of like the thing we tell you in slowly and short answers what happened. Then this one, we give them the long story. We give them the entire history of what's happened in this event. So they get to see what they missed. They feel like they're a part of it. So it's no longer like, oh, I just bought a ticket and I just wait to see this event. So that is how in our sequence, we build more personalization, because now each person feels like they're a part of it and they're seeing their name. We're using first name basis, right? So we have their name for their email. So they're saying, hey, Julie, hey, Ayana, hey, Pamela, blank, 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 blank. And we're letting them know that they are welcome into our community. Not only that, I do feel like the second half of this is also we personalize it when they show up at the event. So they were also getting on their tables, those were VIPs, they were getting reserved for, and they saw their name. They saw on the gift bag, the VIPs, they saw their name, reserved for blank. Every single touch point we could as creatives and musicians and artists, we were trying to say to our people, we see you. This is for you. We wrote this email for you. You are a part of our community now. And they are not just a audience. As a matter of fact, I think some of you realize now that my biggest pet peeve and the thing I'm going to fight against till my dying day is the idea that building an audience is a career. No, that's not how you build a career. Audience is not anything. Audience is passive. We build communities. You build a community, you have a career. You build an audience, you just have an audience. That's not a career. An audience can be taken away and will get tired of you, just like anybody else will just walk out of a store, walk out of a building because, hey, they got what they needed, they got consumed it, and they left. Audiences are consumer-ish, right? Communities are connected. So that's why I want you to be more personalized. Now, if you're interested in figuring out what to do, again, if you want to build a welcome sequence like this in your email service provider, obviously I recommend Kit. You can go to guidedgigs.com/kit to see how we do that and to get your own free version, of what used to be ConvertKit, but is now Kit. And like I said, I'm loving the interface. I think it's beautiful. It's even more handy for people like me who are very distracted. There's less bells and whistles in terms of like clicking on things. Gets right to the meat of what I need to create. And so I would love for you guys, if you're interested, to check it out at guidedgigs.com/KIT. And if you want to switch, by the way, there also is a way to do that. And you can go to guidedgigs.com/switch, and there will be somebody that will actually help you. There we go. Go ahead and pull that up just in case you're interested in checking out Kit, because that's how I built that email sequence. That's how we personalize, and that's how we have our people, raving fans, wanting us to come back and do the next show. And this works again for email. It works for personalization when it comes to your events. If you're not doing a concert, but you're doing something else, power of personalization. Make it personal. Make them feel at home in your event and your tribe, and they will stay locked in a lot longer and probably increase your bottom line and your income. All right, let's keep it moving. I haven't seen any comments yet. So once again, either you are enraptured or incredibly bored, which could be both. Could be enraptured and bored. I don't know. But we're going to keep it moving because I believe that this is helping somebody, even if you're watching on replay. Right, let's get here. Oh, we're already here, so I can go this. Oh, that's right. I'm sharing screen. I forgot. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. All right. What do you know about our membership, the consult today? And I guess this is kind of funny, but I'm going to check into Facebook real quick, only because we did a poll, because I was curious how many people in the membership, when I say membership in the Facebook group, actually knew we have a membership outside of Facebook. And I'm going to look at the results right now to see where we're at, to see how many people actually knew. So 50% said, yes, I'm a member. So they obviously knew because they're already members. 25% said, yes, I just haven't joined yet. But then 25% said, first time I'm hearing this. So 1 out of 4 members of my community, of this very community, that means they're already part of the Facebook group, which means they know who we are. They know what God and Gigs is. They're not just, showing up like randomly. They're a member of the tribe. And yet 1 out of 4 of you did not know we have a membership. Even though I just started the entire setup with, hey, our membership is growing. Here's our membership. So the consult is today. Very simple. Did you know we have a membership? Just a yes or no. I would just love to see it in the comments. Did you know we have a membership? Because maybe you're joining us after my first initial thing and you're like, nope, first I'm hearing it. Or you can go to the Facebook group and vote there, okay? But I really, really, really wonder, maybe I haven't been talking about it enough. Maybe you thought that this was just a podcast. Maybe you thought it was just a platform for people to, learn and grow, but kind of do so separately that there was no like real interaction. Or maybe you thought it was just a Facebook group, but the Facebook group was like, kind of where Alan doesn't show up that much, because I don't really show up that much live on Facebook group anymore for obvious reasons, because we're hanging out in God and Gigs 360 in Gold and the coaching program and all of our courses. That's where we are doing the lion's share of the work, that we're connecting with people because they're actually talking to each other. They do so on Facebook as well, but Facebook controls that, as you know. So sometimes people say, I never saw the post, and it's because Facebook never showed it to them. In our membership, that never happens because we control that. So I'm going to take a quick look at the comments and see if you knew we had a membership. No, nobody here. Seattle Connected, good to see you. Yvonne Suarez. So I'm going to assume that means a lot of you did not know. Because if you were saying yes, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they got it. But if I'm not seeing, Chris Snowden joined us on Facebook. Good to see you, my brother. I'm so glad you are connected. You guys, I always say, if you see one of our friends pop up, that means a clue. You should go check out his episode. Twice he's been on the show. So you have just put in godandgigs.com/podcast and then do a search for Chris Snowden, because he's been on there twice. But he is an amazing friend, brother. Good to see you. Hope your family's doing well, bro. And yeah, same question to you, man. Did you know we have a membership? Because I would love to see you in there. You would be an established creative expert because you're an established creative musician. You're established and you've been on the podcast. So you definitely got to let me know if you want to be up in that membership, brother. So I am curious, once again, even in the comments, if you're watching on replay, share and let me know. Oh, look at this. He did not know, my own friend who has been rocking with me on stages for, oh gosh, we're old, bro. 10 years? 10 years? Okay, I got you hooked up. I'm going to hook you up, man. I'm going to get you connected right away. Because I could give you I'll give the banner for everybody who wants to join godgigs.com/membership. But I would like you to join as an ECE, which is our established creative experts, because when you have so much to offer, I always, and I say this unapologetically, many of the ECEs, the reason why they are there is not because they pay money. It's because their value exceeds anything that they could pay me for. Their value is being there to share with you, that you would have to pay thousands of dollars to be connected with all these people. And yet they are voluntarily sharing inside God and Gigs 360 Gold. So that to me is one of the biggest calling cards of why this membership is valuable, because of the ECEs that want to be part of that. So I will get that to you right away, bro. Let me see. Thank you. Yeah, it was 10 years. Yes, it's been 10 years at least, right? Since Chester and our first. Yeah, it's got to be 15, 16. I don't think it was earlier than, I don't think it was, definitely not later than that. I want to say the first show was, I want to say 15. So at least 9 years. So it's been, or maybe 16. I'll say 16. All right. So that's still a long time. So yeah, thank you so much, man. This is awesome. And I love the fact that our ECEs, that are established creative experts, have been talking to each other, Linus and Yana. So that means, guys, if Chris didn't know, and he's like one of my best friends, I'm realizing that I need to be a little bit more vocal about this. This means that he's one of the 4 people. 1 out of 4. He's the 4th. He didn't know we have a membership, even though we've been rocking this for 2020, since 2020. 2021, I think I launched it on the New Year's Day of 2021. Okay. So GodandGigs.com/membership is how you join. There's 3 tiers, and let me explain them, okay? There is, well, not really 3 tiers. It's just like there's 3 ways to get in. That's kind of simple, okay? So the first way to get in is simply buy a one-time product, like our God and Gigs Creative Crash Course, Confident Creative Crash Course, okay? So that crash course, you know what? I probably should be showing you instead of talking about it. Every time I'm just talking, like, why am I not just showing you? It'd be a lot easier. So instead, let me just pull it up. Oh, I got to go to a incognito window because I can't see the homepage because I'm already a member. So I'm going to show you everything in there so that nobody is confused anymore about whether or not you know how to join God and Gigs 360. All right. So let's go here and let's find a share. I got to close a couple of things. Give me a second. And let's open up another share and find that window. And here we go. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. Let's blow it up. So what I want you to see is, after you can see everything that this membership does for you, right? Actually, we could just click here, choose a plan. Okay. So here are the 3 ways you can join 360. You can see over here the crash course. Okay. The crash course is a $10 one-time fee. It gets you the crash course. It gives you 12 different answers to questions that all creatives have. Plus, our ECEs have also recorded their best tips for this year. I will probably redo that in 2025, but right now it's for 2024. Their best tip for 2024. And you get access to that, and you get access to the forums and our individual disciplines where people are talking as musicians. There's a musician circle, there's an artist circle, there's a visual artist circle, there's a author circle, there's entrepreneurs in circle, there's entrepreneur circle, there's marketing and tech. So every single thing is covered in there. So you can get into one of those, right? You can get into that and you'll be a part of that just by $10 one time. It gets you in. Now, next will be the Inspire Creators Corner, which is a resource center. Let's say you want to get templates on how to build up your podcast, or you want to get a template on how do you design your gig contracts or anything like that, or how do you plan for business. I just added a income planner for business to an income plan for 2025. So how do you plan out how you're going to make money as a creative? All of that is inside the Inspired Creators Corner. That is $10 a month. Once again, you get access to all those templates, plus the forums, plus everything else. You get to hang out and talk with us in our exclusive app. The third way, and again, simple, 10 a month, or 50 a month, which is our God and Gigs 360 Gold, the monthly mastermind coaching community. This is where there's live coaching. And we, as I mentioned, have having amazing conversations going on that are really growing people by leaps and bounds. They didn't realize that's how they would grow when they got connected with other people. Once they got connected to other people, like everything just starts clicking. And as I heard one person, one of our community mentors that I follow, she said that relationships are the precursor to innovation. Relationships are the precursor. Once you build relationships, there's innovation, there's growth coming because you're building relationships. And as you can see, if you are interested in the annual plan, you can join for $500 a year, 2 months free if you join the annual plan. So it saves you $100 over the course of the entire thing. So that's it, guys. That's the membership. Okay. $10 one time, $10 a month, $50 a month, or $500 a year, which again saves you more money. So I hope that made sense now. Everyone can say you knew there was a membership, right? You're no longer struggling with that question. Everybody knows we have a membership. Everybody knows how to get in it, because I didn't want that to be a question anymore where people were confused about how to join. Okay. Just want to make sure that was no longer an issue. All right, my friends, this has been awesome. It's been a great call. Let's finish up with our prescriptions. Go ahead and bring that up. So for our prescriptions, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, hopefully, I forgot to mention this, but it is in the chat. It is in the, I should say it's in the membership. Purchase the Consistent Creative DIY Kit. Now, what is that? That is, as I just mentioned, 2025 is coming up. And if you haven't built habits yet that will help you in your creative walk, then you're going to get to the end of the year and it's going to be like, wait, I'm not even ready. I'm not ready. I'm not following through with the things I said I was going to follow through with. And it's because you haven't already built up those habits. I got to give a shout out quickly. D Shiv, what is Shiverton doing on Instagram? Well, he's probably hanging out with Jill Scott. That's what he's doing because he's been playing with Jill Scott. But I think you're about to go out with Leslie Odom after this, right? So, Shiv, great to see you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us on Instagram. Once again, his interview is incredible. So please go check out Shiv and his everything he is doing on his post, as well as what he has shared with God and Gigs. Let me go ahead and pull this down so you guys can see the entire thing. Where is it? I lost it. Where is membership? I can't pull it down because I can't find it. There it is. Awesome. Okay. So first of all, prescription is check out that kit because you can build those habits with 5 days worth of consistent creative habits. It's not a challenge that's with other people. You get all the challenge materials, but you get to do it on your own time, in your own time. And again, super affordable. I think it's $25. And this would be the thing that will help you determine success in 2025 because you're already setting yourself up to win by building consistent habits with these 4 excellent principles, well, actually 5 excellent principles that will keep you in line all the way to 2025. Highly recommend. Number 2 is sign up for the Podcasting Made Simple Summit. Again, nobody in my groups should not be on podcast. You either should be a host or a guest, but everybody can be a guest. And there's so many podcasts that are literally looking for people all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, I need a guest. Oh my gosh, I didn't get. You should be either on Podmatch or another service that helps you find podcasts and shows up on them. And I will be helping you to be more effective when you do in this particular live stream event, which is chock full of amazing information and some incredible influencers, some names which I can't believe that I'm on the same dais with. It's just God is good. God favoring fair. It's kind of crazy. It's a little bit, actually a lot crazy. It is a lot crazy. Not even a little bit. All right. So after that, I would also recommend your last prescription. Go listen to the episode, the most recent episode 303. And I want to make sure that's right because once again, I feel a little weird. Let's make sure. 303. Yes. How to discover your sound. How to discover your sound with West Bird. Man, he was an incredible guest. He was so honest. We have also worked together a lot. I do consider him a friend now because we have so much in common in terms of the artists we work with together. And really, if you watch the interview, you'll see like there's just 7 zillion moments where it's like, oh, we're twins. And it's like just totally unexpected. Just crazy how much we have in common. The fact that I'm just an older twin because I'm like 5-10 years older. But I highly recommend that you go check that out. And please share it with another musician. Episode 303 of the God and Gig Show. Please share it with somebody else because this is the one that will help break off insecurity, especially if they're playing for other people and have not found their own sound in terms of like sharing their own music yet. Voila, including me, which I need to do this. I need to follow through with it. So highly, highly recommend. Don't skip this episode, even if you're not a musician. Listening to it, follow it, and then share it with somebody because either you know a musician or you know someone that has struggled with finding their own artistic voice. That might be you. And this is going to help you to do just that. All right, my friends, we are right on time. It is 1:54. And again, if all hearts and minds are clear, I saw again that I love that LaShonda was able to drop in from Bootstrap Biz Advice. I love that Chris Snowden was dropping in and shared that he was here from Facebook, which means the Facebook link was working. Thank goodness. Last week we had kind of a weird thing with Facebook where it didn't work exactly as it was supposed to, and it cut off our replay and all that stuff, which is, look, I know I gotta be play nice when I'm here, but you know, I'm not here, not in Facebook's purview right now, so I can say, it's really annoying me what Facebook is doing right now. But hey, if we have to play a game, we still show up and we still do what we can do. All right. So, like I said, if there's any other questions or things or comments or even thank yous or praise reports, I would love to see it in the comments, as well, comments. What I mean is, yeah, because we're closing out. See it in the comments, not just the chat, because chat has been, going off with those of us who are talking during the live, but during the off time when it's just replay, you can still comment and post and share, because you can share it and then if they can post it and it grows, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for that fly by night kind of growth where you get one viral hit and you get 1 million followers, and then none of those followers really know your name because they just followed you because you were the coolest thing, but they don't really have a connection with you. We're trying to avoid that. We want to have a real connection with you, and that does involve signing up for things and becoming more of an active participant. But that is what we are doing for you. We're trying to build things that will help you build your creative life from the inside out. All right, my friends. Well, if that's it, I will go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you watch on replay, please put replay in the comments. Also, make sure, again, you like and subscribe. We have a new episode coming out, 304 on Monday. That would be super cool. Our creative checkup. And last thing I will say, I almost forgot. I'm glad I remembered this at the very end. I can't, I mean, if I can find her link. We do want to pray for those and give you an opportunity to help those who have been affected by Hurricane Helen or Helene. I'm not sure how to say it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find her post. I know I shared it in the Facebook group, but I just need to find her actual page that she is sharing. Morgan McCarver, there it is. Morgan McCarver is a porcelain artist who was on our show in episode 277. Unfortunately and tragically for her entire art studio, whatever she had that she was working on, she got out alive, thank God. But anything she had performance-wise is destroyed. I'm sure she's not the only one, but she's the one I'm aware of right now that's in our community. So if you would like to donate to her GoFundMe to help her just live life, like for now, I wish I could say this was all about getting her back into her studio or building a studio, but that's not important right now. What's important right now is just getting people food and water and safety, and then helping them, like at some point, to build up their lives again. So as our artists, we all know how tough this is. So please check out GoFundMe and this website. You can probably copy it faster than I can say it. Okay. Go ahead and donate to that. It is a person we vouch for. We've had them on the interviews. We know what their heart is, and we know that they're not trying to scam us. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that this is helpful for people who really need our help the most when it is like an immediate need. And this is what we're doing now. So if you see that, I know it's kind of hard to click on it. If you are not in Facebook or YouTube, it might be hard to click on this on Instagram. Maybe you guys can kind of memorize it or just write down, or we could probably put on an email. So if you haven't signed up yet at godofgigs.com/info, join our newsletter, or just godofgigs.com. You can actually join simply there, because I've made that where the page is right there. You can join at godofgigs.com. And let's help Morgan, because again, the pictures are heartbreaking. It literally looks like a bomb dropped and destroyed everything in some of these towns and cities. Asheville was a beautiful artistic, known for all its art, and then suddenly, in a weekend, it's gone. Everything's gone. So let's help where we weep with those who weep, and let's help her in some way, shape, or form. Again, that's the link there. If you don't feel like that's you're comfortable donating, no big deal. But this is something I felt like it was worth doing, because there's so many more people that are suffering. And any way that you, shape, or form that you're helping with the recovery, we appreciate that. All right, my friends, we're right at time. So I'm going to go ahead and start shutting this down. Thank you so much for let's see. Okay, yeah, cool. Just want to make sure I had any other comments. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. Amazing Chris Snowden. Follow him. Check him out. He's an amazing bass player, an even more amazing friend. LaShonda, our amazing ECE, small business, bootstrap biz advice. We've been on her show. We've been on her. We're loyal members of her community. Thank you so much for joining me over there. And also all those that joined us on Instagram, including John Roman, good to see you. G Civ, Seattle Connect, Ivan Suarez Music, Channel Strip, already made new. I think it's download music. I think it's down music. Not sure, but good to see you, Jessica, Lashonda again over here on Instagram, Jordan, Snowden again on Instagram, and then Rich and Byron. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. So until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and we'll see you next Friday.